Okay, so welcome to Demo Day. So, as I said there, my name is Chris Ryan. I'm here with Kevin Hale. So we both coach out of the HIT Golf Academy over in England. It's an academy we've set up recently in the last 6 months. So I was at the Belfry coaching for 16 years. Kevin was at St Andrews coaching for 9 years. So we've set up our own academy. So we've got a Boditrak at the academy, and obviously we use that for both long game, short game. Generating more power for some golfers, generating some more consistency, and just really helping golfers understand how they interact with the ground, because effectively any movement that we make in our body or the club is reflected in what we do through the ground. So having that sort of information to hand is absolutely vital when we're coaching. So when we talk about pressure shift, a lot of people think about how that can be used to generate speed, power, all that kind of stuff, but there's really a lot of uses within the short game as well. And certainly over the last sort of few months, I found myself using this a lot more to help golfers with the sort of shorter shots around the green. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to get Kevin just to hit a sort of standard sort of 30-yard pitch shot. Now, Kevin's a pro, Kevin's obviously a good player, very, very good short game. So as Kevin hits this shot, we're going to have a look at what happens with his pattern. So just wait there for a moment, Kev. Okay, give it a hit. Okay, so happy with that shot?
Yeah, it was a little bit long, but it was good.
Okay, so strike was pretty good, flight was pretty good. I didn't really ask him to do anything specific with the flight, so that was the kind of standard shot that Kev would hit. Now, what we actually see here in what happened is, if we find the starting position of Kevin's swing, which was just in here, there. So Kevin had 55% of his weight on his lead side. So 55% on that lead side. Now, as he made his backswing, he went up to 73% under his trail side. So that means the pressure that Kevin is exerting on the ground moved more under his trail foot. And then when he hit the golf ball, so at contact point, we can see he had 76% on his lead side. So we started 55, he moved 73 into his trail side and about 76 into his lead side. So there was a pressure shift that occurred in that golf swing, in that 30-yard pitch shot. So what we tend to find, through magazines, through online instruction is, I see a lot of golfers struggling with these shots, and they're always told, set your weight left and then hold it there through the golf swing. And that's sort of a common thing that we tend to hear from golfers who come through, they're reading magazines, they're picking up information. And what that really does for me is it kind of gives them incorrect information. So we're going to get Kevin to try and demonstrate what that might look like. So just bear with me, Kev. Okay, go for it. Okay, so we'll just process that one and see what happened there. Okay, so just find where Kevin was at setup. Okay, so at setup, Kevin was 75% on his lead side. Now that's where he was at impact on the previous shot, so he's a lot more left side. So as Kevin went back, he did transfer some pressure, but he only went back to 45 on this side. So at the top of his backswing, he still had 55% on his lead side. So he started more left, it meant he stayed more left. And then in the downswing, he got to a point where he was 79% onto his lead side. And that was when he was about here in his downswing. Now from there, the movement was backwards towards his trail foot. So a very, very different pattern there. So effectively, we saw more weight left at the start, more weight left at the top of the backswing, weight went further left, and then through impact, Kev had to move backwards this way to recover that. Now you see there was a different interaction with the turf, there was a lot more of a divot there, and that was basically because Kevin had too much weight forward too early. His reaction with that was just to sort of back up, and then we start to get the steeper approaches, but also Kev's going to find that a lot more difficult to control his low points because he's starting to move his centre of mass through that impact area, which will start to change the pressure within his feet. So I certainly like to coach more of a 50-50 setup. with a little bit more of a pressure shift. Now, the other thing we tend to see is that when a golfer starts to set more weight left and they're told to hold it there, we generally don't see a lot of leg action. We don't see a lot of rotation, and we don't see a lot of pressure shift. These golfers, I find, tend to have poorer tempo, poorer rhythm, and they don't tend to control the weight of the club as well as they could. So when we start to get a golfer shifting some pressure, not as aggressively as a driver, but when we start to see a golfer shifting pressure, we tend to find they can use that sensation to improve the rhythm, the timing. We see better contacts, we see better low point control, we see better flight control, and ultimately that's going to help a golfer out on the course if they can start to, produce the same sort of contact, same sort of flight each time. Different feelings with those?
Absolutely, yeah. If you feel, when you start left, you're more left, massively feeling the shaft is having to kind of work around. Whereas when you're starting more centrally, you can just feel that as you move the club down, the body's rotating through, and you're able to release the club and get really good interacting with the turf, like you said there.
Absolutely. Now the reality is Kev's a good player, so Kev can set a good amount of weight left, and Kev can deal with that. He can, make the compensations, the little micro moves he needs to kind of square that club face and deliver it. But for your less skilled golfers, the golfers who've got less time to practice, allowing them to sort of move in a better way is definitely going to give them, for me, better delivery of the club, controlling the low point, controlling the attack angle, using the bounce, and giving them better flight control, better spin control, and ultimately better shots on the course. Thank you for watching. Hope that was helpful, and definitely check out Boditrak if you haven't already. Great bit of kit. I use it in almost every lesson. Gives me some great information and a great learning tool for the golfers that I coach.